Tonight, on air rescue, flight paramedics under pressure.
Just relax for me, all right? Everything's all right.
He gave his all to save the family home.
You all right? I reckon you've got a bit of anxiety going on as well.
But did he push it too far?
Have you got pain in your chest?
14,000 feet and falling. How could anyone survive this?
He stood up, he just went like that and collapsed.
At a Daredevil's motocross stream, hangs in the balance.
Oh, I've got to keep him in the car.
Love you.
It's been raining heavily for days, and the crew of Westpac 1 are on edge as they prepare for the worst.
We have cloud base up and down probably between 600 and 900 feet. Well, the aircraft has got 9 hours and we've got 12 hours on the other aircraft, so we'd want to swap aircraft over. All right, thanks, cheers. Flood relief. Wait and see.
Flood relief duty, an around-the-clock endurance test for the crew, and a lifeline for stranded communities. With unpredictable weather, this call-out has the potential to become an emergency.
Wasn't quite what I was planning for Sunday morning.
The information that we've been given is that the patient is a male in his mid-20s, intoxicated last night, had a fall, possible dislocation or fracture of his ankle.
Okay, aircraft 10 o'clock, safe level heading south.
Pilot Mike DeWinton is ex-Navy. In his 35 years of flying, he's seen it all. But with severely compromised visibility and a punishing flight schedule, he'll be pressure tested today.
We get tired, we make mistakes. And, when you fly a helicopter, you can't afford to make mistakes.
This is really handy for flood work when you can't see the roads and stuff.
Entire towns across the eastern seaboard have been evacuated. Roads have been cut off. Medical access is limited. It's aircrewman Peter's job to guide Mike to the scene.
Thanks, they just at the patient's address, Southwest Rocks, loading him up.
Locating the injured patient is a major challenge. Finding a safe place to land, and fast, is crucial.
We're actually overhead the sports field looking to do a landing. Clear out left.
Well, obviously a lot of the roads are closed. As you can see from some of the areas we've flown over, there's a considerable amount of water on the ground, which has really limited the ambulances to getting patients to medical attention outside the area.
Air paramedic Robin gets a brief from the local ambulance crew. They too have been trapped by the road closures, unable to reach hospital. 22-year-old Brian injured himself in an overnight scuffle.
You'd had a few beers?
Yeah, I had a couple.
It's splintered and has been walked on after it's been splintered and taped up with duct tape, etc., which has since been removed and retaped, but the original splint's still in place. Understand my frustration?
I understand.
Thank you.
Brian's ankle is badly broken. Nerve damage has left him with no feeling in his toes.
Can you feel me touching your toes?
No.
The combination of the big night and the pain is taking its toll. The aircrew need to get him to the nearest hospital, and fast. Experienced skydiver Brett Fall is enjoying recording his 1400th jump. From 14,000 feet, it's the ultimate adrenaline-inducing thrill. Until moments before the landing, when something goes horribly wrong.
Westpac Helicopter, Graham speaking.
We've got a job for you up at Elderslie at the skydiving centre up there.
Okay, what have we got there?
We've got a 40-year-old male back injuries as a result of a hard landing up there.
Okay, thanks for that. We'll give you a call when we get in the air. Apparently this guy's hit the ground quite hard and he's bounced some distance after he's hit the ground, so he's done some significant damage to himself.
Yeah, Westpac 2 departed base POB of 6 for the Singleton area.
The extent of the skydiver's injuries is unknown. But one thing's for sure, when you crash land after a skydive, you're going to need serious medical help.
Sounds pretty crook, this guy.
Westpac 1 copied all that sound 5 minutes away.
Veteran flight paramedic Brad Taylor knows that when it comes to man versus gravity, there's usually only one winner.
At the moment, we're suspecting everything. Is it a spinal? Is it a head injury? Does he have an abdo bleed? Pelvis? All of them are serious and all of them will end his life very, very quickly if we don't manage them properly.
The crew hit the ground, expecting the worst. Coming up,
He dropped to his knees and just went unconscious for about 12 seconds.
Oh, I can't believe I'm recording.
the tingling won't stop.
You're not stop breathing, mate.
No.
Will he walk again?
More comfortable. We want to get...
And the heavy price
Sandbagging all bloody day.
of saving the family home. Floods have cut off road access to the town of Southwest Rocks. And 22-year-old Brian, a local construction worker, is suffering from the side effects of a big night out and a broken ankle.
Let's get him moving. If we can beat this shower, that'd be great.
If left untreated, the lack of circulation in Brian's ankle could lead to permanent disability. And with the weather closing in, the crew has to move quickly. Although Brian is in a stable enough condition, Chief Pilot Mike DeWinton is flying close to the edge. He's up to 7 hours flying time, 2 hours short of his limit, and weather conditions aren't improving.
Unbelievable.
These are skydiver Brett's final chilling moments before he crash lands. Flight paramedics arrive at the scene to find that somehow he has beaten the odds.
15 or more, Wayne's going to be about 6 out of 10.
Brett is alive and fully conscious.
So just so I'm full on the picture, he's landed feet first.
Hit the ground on his left side, then tumbled, and then that was it.
The road crew has already administered morphine, which has significantly reduced Brett's pain and is making him seem surprisingly relaxed.
Had a line break on my parachute, the one that I used to steer. Very unlucky.
What I might do, mate, just before I put you on the helicopter, I'm going to go over you once again, just to make sure there's nothing else developed since we've arrived. No matter what the patient looks like outwardly, there is real potential for this patient to deteriorate very, very quickly. At the moment, how do you feel?
Not too bad considering it.
So pain out of 10?
Probably 5 or 6. Only when I move, like if I stay still, it's probably a 2 or 3.
Brett seems to be handling the pain well. The paramedic Brad isn't convinced by his tough guy act.
Mate, is that hurting where I'm touching with my hand up towards your hip?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Not as much as...
You're wincing pretty badly, mate. A little bit seems like a bit more than a little bit.
Yeah, it is hurt. A lot.
Now Brett is being more honest about the pain. It becomes obvious that his injuries are pretty severe.
We're thinking there might be a break up high here.
Yeah, I think there is, yes.
It is going to hurt when we move you, okay?
Yep.
He's obviously got some reasonably significant injuries and his leg's off at a fairly awkward angle. So I've got to consider a pelvic injury, possibly a femur fracture, internal bleeding. So moving him is the challenge.
Another heavy dose of painkillers is required to prepare Brett for transport. A journey that would be a lot bumpier and take a lot longer by road.
Okay, just relax.
A spinal board and neck brace will help stabilise Brett for the flight.
You try to be relaxed.
His pelvis has also been secured with a special splint.
In good hands, Brett. We'll see you at the hospital later, mate.
About to take his second flight of the day, skydiver Brett will be flown to the hospital to be patched up after his lucky escape. And with him safely on the way, Nico reflects on another day at the office.
He is a big tough bugger and he took the pain quite well from what we could see. We have seen our fair share of accidents like that. You'd never get me jumping out of a plane, not a chance in the world.
Communities along the eastern seaboard are isolated by extreme weather conditions. Chief Rescue Pilot Mike De Winton is in the midst of a grueling double shift. He clocked 14 hours last night.
TDP.
He's up to 8 hours today. The crew have just dropped off one flood victim and have been called to rescue another.
One to go. Right, it's about to come on.
Okay guys, you're clear out. Just go straight forward.
On the ground, 31-year-old Tim has been battling the floodwaters from engulfing the family home.
All right, tell me what's going on. Have you got pain in your chest?
No, not pain.
Okay, what are you...
just like big palpitations.
Yeah? Have you been doing anything stressful? Oh, well, obviously there's a bit of a...
Sandbagging all bloody day.
You look like you're stressing out a little bit, all right? Now, don't stress. I'll tell you what I'm seeing in front of me. I reckon you've got a bit of anxiety going on as well. Yep. So whatever's going on, just relax for me, all right? Everything's all right, okay? You all right? How about you come over to the helicopter with me? We'll sit you down inside. We'll do a couple of tests. Are you all right, buddy?
Robin has to find out if Tim is suffering from stress and exhaustion.
Thanks, guys. You're doing good.
Caused by a long day of sandbagging.
All right.
Or if he's showing the early signs of cardiac arrest.
Are you all flooded in, are you?
Yeah.
So, a stressful couple of days? Yeah, no, that's all right. I'll tell you what, climb up here. Just careful, let's have a seat.
The big thing about cardiac situations is that no one really knows the full extent. It could be, really a very, very serious situation, or it could be quite mild. He's got chest pains, and as we should all know, as soon as you get chest pains, you should deal with it and get it checked out, because what could be seen quite minor to you could actually turn out to be life-threatening.
His heart rate is within the normal range. But still, they can't take any chances and need to get him to hospital for further testing.
Helicopter Westpac 1 is a medevac 412 becoming airborne, 500 feet tracking for the Port Macquarie Base Hospital.
But no sooner is the chopper in the air than another mission is called.
Westpac 1.
Could we get you to do another quick one, please? Southwest Rocks, it's an access issue. Same location as last time, just a gentleman with a tick bite.
Bloody big tick.
Coming up, just how deadly can an Aussie tick get?
His temperature was 39, his heart rate was 118, he was dry as a chip.
And touch and go for the paramedics.
So, Andrew, have you still got that funny feeling in your feet? You still have a little bit?
As the daredevil fights for his future. The chaos caused by days of heavy rains has left countless families in desperate need of help.
Clear left. Yeah, clear down.
Patient Tim Halliwell is handed over to Port Macquarie Hospital staff for further cardio testing. A quick refuel, and then it's back into the heart of the flood-affected area for one last job.
Same location as last time, Sports Oval next to the country club.
There's 5 hours left on the aircraft before it has to go back, but I'm coming close to being a pumpkin, so I'm going to have to go back shortly and change. Last job for me, and give some work to Aussie.
62-year-old local resident Tim has 3 nasty paralysis tick bites that have become infected.
His temperature was 39, his heart rate was 118, and he was dry as a chip. Terrible rash on his back, big pustules all over him.
Are you in any pain at the moment?
4 out of 5 he described it as early, which he didn't want treatment for.
At this stage, he's got a systemic reaction going on. There's a possibility that when he removed the ticks or the one in his boot came off, that he may have left a part of the tick actually in the wound, and that has become infected.
Isolated by the wild weather, it may have been days before Tim could get to a hospital. And with tick bites potentially fatal, the crew chalks up another life saved.
What we've been doing today is a bit out of the ordinary. Obviously, with a lot of floods and damage, this is quite common that the aircraft will be utilised across the whole area. So we keep going until they tell us we can go home. Our job is to help people, and that's what we're doing.
At the end of an extraordinary day, Westpac 1 can finally return to base.
Helicopter Westpac 1 at 700 feet inbound for landing.
Dawn, and the clear skies signal an end to the devastating deluge. But there's no rest for the flight crew.
Thank you, we'll get on the way. Thanks, bye. Paras are on the way. I'm just going to go and double check the location and the weather.
Okay, red outside, 1500.
Westpac 2 has just heard word of a little boy in serious trouble.
Fuel sufficient.
Within minutes, the crew is assembled and ready for liftoff.
Newcastle traffic helicopter Westpac 2 becoming airborne.
So, what do we know?
We've got a report of a 10-year-old male who was riding a motocross bike and he's misjudged the jump and he's come down and the motorbike has landed on his chest.
There could be more to this than meets the eye.
Pilot Richard Nest has only been with the Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service for 6 months, but he's been flying for over 30 years. The crew know they're in safe hands when Nesty's at the helm.
In knowing that the patient that we've got today is a child patient, I can't help but think about what it might be to go to the child of my own. We just think with a little bit more urgency about what I might have to do to successfully get into that patient.
See the little tracks there straight through the bush on the nose? That's the motocross track.
The area is so heavily wooded that Air Crewman Peter shifts position to the rear door. All eyes will be needed for this delicate touchdown.
Okay, I'm on final approach now.
Then you got 30 to run. Line's good, height's good, well clear of the trees.
Tail left 90.
And tail's clear to come left 90. Fly off the ground. 4, 3, 2, left skid's coming on.
Okay, good there. All good, paras clear out. Copy, clear now.
10-year-old Andrew has been stabilised and kept secure until he can be properly assessed. He hasn't moved since his fall. By his side, Mum Rachel is there to comfort.
Love you.
How you going, Andrew? My name's Dave. I'm going to be continuing on from these paramedics that have been here looking after you. We're going to take you to the hospital, all right? Okay, so you don't look too comfortable there, but where's your most pain now, mate?
About halfway in my back.
About halfway, just sort of down about this area here?
And up from there.
Just up a bit here.
A bit of a daredevil, 10-year-old Andrew was attempting a ramp jump, but was thrown from the bike when he landed awkwardly.
He's gone up the jump and it's landed on his chest. And he's gone on his back. He's kicked the bike off him. He stood up. He just went like that and collapsed and just went unconscious for about 12 seconds.
Even though Andrew was wearing protective body armour, his symptoms mean he might have a fractured sternum and spinal damage as well.
Now, initially, they said that you had like a funny feeling in your legs. Is that past now? Is that
Oh, like tingling in the toes and hands.
all the time? All right, okay.
He's just told me that he's actually got some tingling in his limbs. Now, that immediately brings up a red flag in my mind that he could potentially have a serious spinal injury.
Coming up.
When you just moved your neck then, did that hurt you?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit or a lot?
The daredevil's injuries are revealed. Paramedics have been at the scene of a motocross accident for 10 minutes. Patient, 10-year-old Andrew, has just been administered morphine.
Pain here in the shoulder, mate?
Stop breathing, mate.
No.
You're okay.
Andrew needs to be carefully rolled over onto a spinal stretcher. If not completed correctly, the delicate manoeuvre could result in permanent damage.
Is that a little bit more comfortable? I bet it would be.
Pilot Nesty is on hand to calm Mum Rachel's nerves.
Yeah. And he's pretty morphined up. How long will that last?
Oh, well and truly till he gets into the emergency department and they can give him more.
When you just moved your neck then, did that hurt you? Just a little bit or a lot? About half. Okay, now, the next thing you need to know is that pretty soon we think we might take you in a helicopter. I've been in it heaps of times.
Andrew may be fearless on his bike, but he's scared of flying, and Dave needs to keep his young patient calm.
You like roller coasters?
Sounds like
Nothing
it.
like that.
Just
No, it is. Yeah, no, it is.
To make matters worse, even if they can get him on board, weight restrictions may prevent Mum from joining him. All eyes turn to Nesty.
Mum's able to come?
Yeah, there's some clinical benefit for the young fellow, isn't it, coming in? I made a decision to take the mother because being a young child who was fully conscious but anxious, the mother can give quite a bit of reassurance, which makes the job for the medical team much easier.
Well, Dad, I go to sleep.
You can have a little sleep, yeah, of course you can.
The immediate cause for concern is over, and Andrew is secure and ready for transport.
It doesn't have life-threatening injuries, but yeah, we don't muck around. Come right through, mate.
For now at least, the accident has put Andy's professional ambitions on the back burner.
He wants to be the next Chad Reed. I think we might need a few more coaching days.
You're not wrong.
Okay, his last BP was 119/75 with a pulse of 88.
I'm going in the chopper, thank goodness, with Andy. He wouldn't go with them unless I was with him. And husband's going to meet us up there.
Having his mum there is really important. Sure, he's riding a motorbike around, going faster than I can go, but he is still a 10-year-old boy, and whenever they get injured, Mum or Dad to be there is paramount.
Hello, sweetheart. He's a brave boy, that's for sure.
He's a brave boy, he's a good patient.
It'll be based on 40 knots. We'll get ourselves well clear of the trees before rolling off to the north.
Having faced his fear of needles and flying, Andrew was safely on his way to hospital. Next week, on Air Rescue, the tanker just can't stop.
Cut authority. Okay, back right's coming open.
An extreme mission with no margin for error.
Go out the door and dangling. Put the gen a little bit. Hold in there.
Mystery on the farm.
And it's just swung round and both back feet came out and whack.
No pain and no movement.
Do you remember being kicked?
And just 16 years old and onto her third spinal injury.
Come off the bike, come down the hill. Yeah. The bike's come over here in the back.
A young champion pushes the limits.
My legs feel funny.